All right, nothing like technical difficulties.
I know, I keep getting kicked out, so if I disappear, I won't be back. So,
Who else are we waiting for?
is Hobie here?
I see Hobie.
Carly was here before and
I'm
isn't
here.
here now.
Carly was just checking in because I was having the technical difficulties.
Okay.
I think we got,
Therese.
So I'm sorry, Mary, did you say your whole team's here?
yes,
Okay. And what about Therese, Ryan? You're muted.
Well, I got that over with. I don't see her in here. I'll text her.
Okay.
But I see Olivia, and we have you and Virginia for notes. So I think we're
Good to
here
go.
other than Teresa. So I'll just text her.
Okay. And again, I apologize. My video is not working. So I realize when we left, May 8th was our last meeting, and we weren't able to do our May 28th. So this is sort of our next meeting following that. We had shared some budget information and had given you the district's first proposal. So I'm hoping that you all will be sharing with us a proposal.
we will. So is that where you want to start, or?
I don't know if there's any specific questions or anything you want to get started with before we just kind of jump in.
No, I guess we sort of, for your proposal, I looked at the PERS part and that seems straightforward. We sort of, I don't know what the word is, would be reject the upper three. It just doesn't seem adequate for what we're going to ask for. We going back and looking at even something as simple as the minimum wage by the end of next year, again, we would be in that same predicament where our step 4 people would be below minimum wage. I mean, and that just doesn't seem right. And there were some other things that we'll get into when we do this. It's sort of just a basic proposal of ideas, and we can work on numbers and other things later, but Marcy can share that with you for me.
I need the host to disable the blocking the screen sharing.
Okay, let me see if I can figure that out.
No, that's
One moment. And Zach, I think you may still be on, so if you could possibly help guide me if needed. Okay, does that give you the option, Marcy, what I just did?
No, but still says host has disabled participant screen sharing.
All right.
Should I send it to Jennifer and she could post it?
If
I'm trying, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
No,
I'm
honey.
working on it.
Okay, Zach's working on it. Thank you.
oh, I have the ability now.
Okay, great.
All right, there we go. Mary,
Okay.
it's back to you.
And really quick, I know that you're going to be reviewing this, but can you also send it to us electronically so I have a printed version?
I will. I'm afraid to go out of this right now because it keeps kicking me out and I have it ready to send.
That's totally fine. Just maybe
Okay.
afterwards, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right. So there's basically 5 proposals within this. The first one is the 403B. And we have a little more information on that we can share, work on later, but you can read. I don't feel if you want me to read it, but the district shall allow classified employees to join the district's 403B plan and shall match the first $25 of contributions monthly. This is based on something that was given to the certified and the non-reps last year. The next is compensation. It has not been raised at all forever, and the district contribution to insurance will increase by $60 a month to $1,300. And the district will give a 5% COLA effective July 1st, 2020. This is based on last year we did a base rate which helped the lower ranges, but anyone, I would say around 5 or 6 or above, got as low as 3% overall, where others got over 13, and this is sort of necessary because then it would be another whole year where over half of our people get no increase. Club advisor, we had talked about this, I know at JLMC, at some other things, to look at that chart and the difference in some of the positions and some of it by season. And I think it warrants more of a conversation. We have a little more backup documentation that we can work on and get to you later, but we just wanted to put that out there. And then the insurance, the second part there, where we would go down to 6.5 as full-time, because it seems like it just is in our district, and a lot of those employees, this is what their career, it's not someone coming in and working for a couple hours a day. And we just feel that this is important. So there you go. And I just think, based on what we've seen over through this pandemic part, how essential classified employees are, as all our employees are. But I think this has really shined the light on some of our people and how important it is that we keep them and pay them adequately. So, any questions?
I know I do. I'm just trying to make sure I'm kind of looking through each of these pieces as I
Okay.
have some clarification. On the 10.9 Club Advisor Coach, do you have an actual proposal of some changes or just a conversation?
It's a little of both. I know we had talked about a few of the certain positions. One of them definitely was swimming coach, but you and I, we had mentioned at JLMC to look at all of them, and we just wanted to make sure that this conversation continued and we could get closer to a proposal after I thought we could have a little more conversation on it. But we do have some things, and some of it's based on seasons. So I can get that to you with the other.
Okay.
And then the insurance, we have an insurance meeting on Thursday. I haven't been able to get any of the information to be able to work with that for numbers. So after that, we'll be able to work with that. And
I think the Thursday meeting, Mary, is more about looking at plans and stuff. Is that correct?
I don't know. I've asked to have the numbers of how much money is in the account and
Okay.
how many employees and stuff. If I could get that soon, that would be great then, if that's all that meeting Thursday is about.
Can I ask a question on the first one, the 403B?
Mhm.
So it says that, so as I read it, it basically, as I read it, I think it means that those classified staff members who sign up for a 403B, the district will match the first $25. If employees don't sign up for the 403B, then that matching wouldn't occur. Is that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say we're looking to mirror the language that's in the certified contract on this point.
So I want to clarify a couple things on that. Thank you both for that information. The first statement was this was to match what was offered to certified and non-rep. This wasn't offered to non-rep, and it was a 1 year only. So it's up for negotiation. So it's not a guaranteed continued 403B. So I just want to put some clarity around that as well.
Yeah, that's why in this part, we didn't phrase it as that.
Ryan or Olivia, do you have any additional questions about this?
No, I don't.
I don't think so either.
So I feel like we need to probably caucus to discuss. I think, Mary, I did hear, and I want to make sure I heard you correctly, that you all have not costed this proposal out, correct?
Yeah, we were unable to get in all the figures that we needed, so we have not been able to, no.
Okay, and you have some for the 10.9, some figures you're proposing a specific with the request that we continue conversations reviewing. So I'm
Yes.
wondering if you can send both this document and what that specific
Okay.
proposal is, so we can take a look at that as well. Is your intent, and this kind of goes back to what Marcy said as well, is looking at, I know several things both this year and last year, it sounds like are kind of trying to match what we're doing with teachers. And part of the putting in the coaching stipends was part of that. Are you wanting to or interested in continuing to have those mirrored?
Oh,
And I share that just because,
Right.
as you can imagine, if you have on a team, an assistant at both, one person's a certified and one's a classified, and they're different rates, but asked to do the same thing, it feels pretty weird, right?
right. Yeah, it does. That's sort of what did it, what brought it to our attention. And looking at the chart there, it just sort of makes sense that, yeah, it's a little convoluted. I think we definitely need to look at that.
Okay, so maybe there's actually more discussion needed
Right,
before numbers are put to it.
right.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, if you could, I think what we need to do is we need to step out
Okay,
of this so we can go into our caucus space. Because this is available live, if you all want to caucus, just know, and you stay in the space, just know that that's public. Or if you go to your own space, I just want you to be aware of that.
okay. Yeah, we have an outside one.
Okay.
All right.
Zach, really quick, just for clarification, because we have not done this before in this manner. If we all step out of this space for a little bit, what shows on the YouTube channel?
So basically, if you guys step out of the meeting, nothing will show. So I don't know what you guys' intentions were. Whatever is happening in the will stream to YouTube. So if you guys sign out of the meeting, you should be able to sign back in with the same link you got in with.
Okay,
In
and
the
is there a
meantime, on
way,
YouTube, nothing would be showing basically.
is there a way for those who sign in or show up on the YouTube to at least know maybe we're in caucus? Is there a way to put some message or something there so people don't think we,
I could put something in the chat. Yeah.
that would be great. Thank you.
Sure.
So if let's do a check in maybe 20 minutes or half an hour and just kind of see where both teams are.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, Mary, I'll text you then.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay,
Jen.
thank you.
All right, the caucus.
Mary, just so you're aware, you're still in the Zoom meeting. So
I know, try to get out. How do I get?
there should be a end or like a red button, something at the bottom right of the meeting.
Let me see.
I can remove you as well if you want.
Yeah, want to take me out?
Yeah, you should be able to rejoin with the same link afterwards anyways.
Oh, okay. That won't mess that up. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Do we have everyone back?
Think so.
And it looks like my camera's working this time.
Yeah,
Yay.
you're
I-
back.
You have Isaac?
Yep.
Oh, okay, there you are. Okay, so when we met last time, one of the things that we shared was the two priorities that I have as we move into next year. The one is maintaining school days, and the other is maintaining a strong student-centered workforce. And what we know right now is that we're anticipating a budget shortfall between 5 and 7 million for next school year. We also know that we won't have additional information on that until after a legislative session, which we sort of anticipate will happen later this month or near the end of the month. And so with our rough estimates of the proposal that you shared, we anticipate that costs approximately 1.3 million in total proposal. And so based on knowing that we have a $5 to $7 million reduction to make and a request for a little over $1 million, we're not in a spot right now to be able to respond until after that legislative session. That's the same thing that we've done with CEA, is to look at what we find out through that session in terms of financial resource to schools and districts. But those are that's the challenge that we face right now. Again, trying to maintain a strong workforce and staff, school days for students and families, and also recognize the valuable work that everybody does, and trying to balance all of those things, which is really, really difficult right now. So what I recommend is that we schedule for mid-July another negotiation session when we have additional information. But as of right now, knowing that we're, that have that $5 to $7 million reduction and the request on the table, I don't feel like we can respond to that without additional information. So that's where we're at right now. And again,
Yeah.
we value how the work that everybody does, and we're just trying to address all of those hydraulics that are shifting right now. So that's where we're at.
Hey, Mary, I know you and Jennifer had a little bit of discussions about the coaching. Do we want to flush that out a little bit more, figure out what pieces we're talking about so we can bring Jennifer back a proposal that addresses that? Like cheerleading, wrestling, like what are we talking about?
If she has specifics right now, or we could be something we could look at and get information later. I was just thinking on the insurance as well. We can get that financial information, and if we could get from you guys what you saw where the 1.3 million, how it came about, just so we can have an idea of costing.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
Yeah, and again,
I'm
that was
seeing
just,
Olivia's head nodding, so I know she can give you that info.
Mhm.
Thanks, Olivia.
Yeah, I'll try to get you something later this week, Mary.
That's perfect. Thank you. Okay. I mean, I think everything is something we have time to look at now. And do you want to schedule a meeting now, Jennifer? Do you want to wait, or?
Just knowing that we're anticipating a lot of probably updated information throughout the summer. It probably would be a little bit busier summer than normal for us. So probably best to get things on the calendar. Again, just so you know, we've scheduled 2 dates with CEA, one in July and one in August.
Okay.
And based on the same sort of premise. So I don't know if we'd like to do that so we all get it on the calendars. And then again, hopefully we'll have more information and can have more discussion time.
That would be great. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, after you get the numbers from the state, then would we wait and meet after the school board meets in case? Would that change, like, the financials from the district? I'm just wondering if that's a part of it. We have rainy day funds, et cetera. I just didn't want to have it too early in July, I'm assuming.
Right. I think Olivia, you probably going to respond to that.
Yeah, it kind of hard to answer. It kind of depends on the information we get at the state level. It may be
Okay.
information that we then start to create a recommendation to the school board, but maybe not. I think it just kind of depends on what we hear. If it's on the bad side of things, we probably will have to create a recommendation to the school board to tap into reserves, and it does require board action, so we can't make any assumptions around that. So it might, that type of action could be maybe in early August. I believe the school board is meeting, so that's probably if we're going to need to talk to them about that, that's when we would.
Okay, thanks.
I think the other thing to keep in mind, and we've been sharing this with our groups, but also with the board, is the information we're getting is the projections look like it's not a 1 year impact on a budget, that this could be a 3 to potentially 5 years. So we keep that in mind as we know we have some reserves that we may need to look at ourselves, but also if it's more than a year, we also need to be able to be planful on that end. So.
Okay, thank you.
First of all, I guess the question is, I don't think we've ever bargained in July. So are you open to that?
I think since we do it this way, it probably makes it doable.
Okay. With that, do you want to look at maybe the week of the 27th, July 27th?
Okay. That works for me because I'll be back.
I have the 27th open as well,
What if,
or the
could you
28th.
look, I'm sorry, Hobie.
The 28th is actually better.
I potentially have conflicts 27, 28. What if we look at 29th? That's a Wednesday.
I have that open too.
That's open
And
for me.
is this time slot, the 10 to 12, doable for folks?
It is for me.
Yeah, it seems to work well.
Okay, so Ryan and Olivia, the 29th.
Sorry, Ryan and I are both in a meeting from 10 to 11:30, but I think we can get that rescheduled.
Yeah.
Okay, so going once, going twice, going 3 times is July 29th, 10 to 12, I think.
Mhm.
That works.
Okay, and I will send out meeting invites as well.
Okay.
And for now, it sounds like we'll continue to do it in this method.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so then do we want to look at an August date as well? And maybe that would be, to give a couple weeks, the week of August 10th, so later in that week.
I'm not available for meetings the first 3 days, the 10th, 11th, 12th, so it would need to be the 13th or 14th.
The following week's way better for me, the 17th through the 20th.
Mary, I don't know registration dates in August. Do you know those dates by chance?
I'd assume it would be the week after the 20th.
After August 20th?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So then the week of the 17th,
17th looks good.
That should work.
do we want to do that? Let's see.
I'm pretty open. 18th and 19th, I'm wide open. 17th, I'm pretty open.
What does pretty open mean, Hobie?
It means I can probably move what I need to move.
Oh, okay.
So one thing I would ask to keep in mind, especially with Joanne and I, and even Mary, is around this time, we start being asked to have open hours where, and I don't know if we'll have that this year, but in the past that we were expected to be available for the office open.
Yeah.
Different, it might just be by phone or something, but just keep in mind that we wouldn't be open if we do this.
So do we want to look at maybe Tuesday, the 18th, again, maybe a 10 to 12?
I'm wide open. Yeah.
I'm seeing heads nod yes.
Worked for me.
Okay, August 18th. That would still, Marcy, on that day, give you at least a little morning time to be open and then,
And I'm imagining things might be a little different this year, but just remembering the context of previous years, we were given our hours to be open.
okay. You're anticipating different?
Ah,
Okay, so I think I will send out meeting invites. I have July 29th, 10 to 12, August 18th, 10 to 12. We hope we will have more information from the state. And then we would come back with sort of a response / proposal to you all at that time based on information we have. And if there's new information that comes out, of course, before, I know you guys will probably be watching it as well, but we certainly will be sharing information.
okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you all. A
Thank you.
little bonus, you get a little bit of time back in your day.
No. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Take care.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.